What's up, Will? You hurt yourself.
Yeah, I hit my finger.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
That's good.
Emotionally.
How was your Blade show?
Dude, Blade Show has been crazy. Like, okay, so a number of things. First of all, the Blade Show this year is busier than it's ever been. Like,
Yeah,
I think there's easily double the people that were here last time, which is pretty sick.
Yeah, no, it
but
is.
It's a lot. I remember on day one, we were like pulling up to the booth, Squid Industries booth, just to like be there. Like, we just needed a place to kind of like put our stuff and like figure out our bearings. And it was swamped with people. Like, there was like genuinely insane amount. You couldn't see the booth from like 3 feet away from it because there were so many people around the booth. So.
I remember saying that I was watching your old 2021 video and thinking, wow, where do they get the room to film all that? Because I'm looking around and there's like 5,000 people and
you have to
can't.
make the room, baby.
Yeah. Did you buy anything cool?
I did, as a matter of fact. So I bought 3 things mainly, and 2 of them I don't have with me because one of them was a serif for Brandon that is actually a custom serif. We might be able to send you some footage of it, but it is a custom black and red serif that I had Dalen make, and we worked on it for months. And actually, the idea behind it was that it was supposed to be a like birthday present for him, and he wasn't aware of it. And I decided at Blade Show, because Dalen was going to give it to me, and then I was going to keep it a secret for like another month or so, and I was like, no, I'm going to let Dalen see Brandon's reaction. So that's what happened, and he unboxed it and lost his mind, and yeah, it's a very, very pretty thing, and Dalen was quite the bro for making that happen. But other than that, I bought another serif for another good friend of mine, Prism. So that was a pink serif. So I bought a pink serif and a black and red serif for Brandon, and then I bought this for myself. So this is a Tsunami that is very, very pretty. It's production 5 of the Tsunamis. It's got this beautiful blurple anodization, but it is number 169. The reason I bought it, I wasn't planning on buying a Tsunami. I just like potentially wanted one. And so I got in line like right at the beginning when it was time to go. It was like number 6 in line maybe. And I was like, okay, do I get a Tsunami? I don't know. And I walk up and I get to the front. I think to myself, okay, the only way that I'll get a Tsunami is if one of them like calls to me. Like if it has a look that's so good that I can't stop. And this thing with its like blurple finish was right there looking at me. And I was like, oh crap. Yeah. I picked it up, opened it up, and looked at it. And it was number 169. And I was like, well, that counts. I'll take that one, please. And that's how I spent money on a Tsunami that day.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, very, very happy with my purchases. The other thing that I got was, it wasn't a purchase, but it was courtesy of Squid Industries. They had the booth going on with the tune-ups.
I saw that.
That was extremely cool.
Yeah.
And I had a V2 crack-a-rackin', which I do desperately love, but this thing got, how do you say, dropped down 3 flights of stairs.
Said it pretty well.
So onto concrete, mind you, and it was not tuned great after that point. And so I handed it to them, and they were like, "Oh, we can help you." And they completely replaced the hardware and put in new bushings and everything. And this thing is so well tuned now. If you want to give that a try.
Guess I don't have to hold the mic towards you.
Yeah,
oh wow!
Like nothing.
You dropped this on 3 flights of stairs.
Yeah.
Whew.
And it's like perfect now.
And this is like it's a rare color. They don't make this color anymore, do they?
Yeah, so this is the first orange that they ever released, which honestly isn't my favorite looking orange, but it was, the first time Squid Industries is going to drop an orange color, I'm going to be all over that.
Yep.
But unfortunately, it's more of a red than an orange. It looked more orange on camera, I think, but in person, it's like, oh yeah, that's pretty red, especially once I put these orange end caps from Tay Flipper on it. It's pretty obvious. However, I do have another orange thing.
Yes, I was going to ask about this, the prototype.
Yeah, so this orange A is more what I was going for. You got a bit more of a burnt orange than this red. I think we called like a blood red orange or like something like that. But either way, this is the prototype that I've been showing around Blade Show here, getting reactions and feedback from people. This is something that I've been working on with a company called Nabali's, which is an Amazon company. I'm sure you've seen the stuff that they've made. They sent us the Morse to do a review on. And we were like, okay, very cool. This thing is pretty good, but it could be better. Yeah. So we were very impressed with the construction, but the design was not quite there. And so I thought to myself, I was like, I wonder if they would let us, because they reached out to us through email. I wonder if they would work with us to design something better. Yeah. And so I was like, you know what, shoot your shot. I'm going to do it. And I asked, hey, would you guys be interested in working with me to design something? Because this has been something I've thought about in the community for a really long time. And it's the fact that there aren't any really, really, really compelling beginner options. Yes. Right now, most people are getting in because they buy something cheap on Amazon, or they unfortunately are getting stuff like clones from the one on AliExpress or whatever. And the problem with that is that people don't stay in the hobby when they get those things. You know, they'll get something for $25 on Amazon and it'll fall apart in their hands, and they'll get so frustrated that they leave the hobby. And so what I want with this was something that would allow people to stay in the hobby from their first purchase. So the idea with this balisong is to get something that is made with aluminum channel handles. It's got a stainless steel blade. It's on bushings. And it has design features that are important for flippers. So grip right here where it's nice for fanning, grip down here with the jimping, which is good for ladders, like relatively good grip across the entire surface, because that's one of the big problems with cheap aluminum trainers is the grip. Yes. So fixing that kind of stuff was an issue that we wanted to do. And so if somebody bought this for a price of hopefully around $60, then they would get something for pretty cheap. I think most people could afford that, and it would keep them in the hobby, because this could be good enough where you would stay. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think that's super important, because once you're in the hobby and you actually stay, nobody has one balisong. No one does. You don't even have one balisong. You tried to have one balisong.
I tried, and I now have 14.
Yeah, exactly. So the whole point of this is not to compete with companies like Squid Industries or Machine Wise or anything like that. In fact, the idea is to do the opposite. I want to help grow the community, because I genuinely believe this is a necessity to exist. And by having this, we could have a better turnover rate of people that try the hobby and stay in the hobby. And once you're in, your wallet will suffer, so sorry about that. But yeah, so I would love to see what you think of the prototype.
You went around trying this, giving people this at Blade Show to see what they thought of it. How were the reactions to it?
The reactions to the prototype were honestly really, really, really good. I could not have imagined how much people would positively react. And what really got me too was, like, there were multiple people who are makers that I respect, like people that design balisongs that, you know, have impressed me for years, and they held it and flipped it for a bit and were like, I'm gonna buy one of these. Yeah. And I'm like, really? And they're like, yeah, for that money, I absolutely want to buy one of these to practice with. And I was like, you are kidding me. Yeah. That is the best feedback, and like that is the nicest thing that you could possibly say to me. Like, holy shit, thank you. That is feedback that I treasure. And so we did actually get a couple negative feedback things that I want to address, which is, so you might notice it's a little weird on chaplains.
Yes, I was struggling with that earlier.
Yeah, it's good, but you have to get used to chaplaining on it, and it doesn't want to fully do them in certain circumstances. So we made a couple changes. Let me see it real quick here. So we moved in the pivots, I think, by about 1 millimeter, which is a small change, but enough. You can see the pivots are pretty wide apart there. So that thigh gap, though. We moved them in by about 1 millimeter. And then something else we did is increase the length of the handles by about 1.5 millimeters, maybe 2. Also, you'll notice I'm talking in millimeters, not inches, because we're working with China here. But yeah, by extending that a little bit, we're going to give it a little bit more handle bias, which should help it hold on better. And then also by moving in the pivot slightly, it'll help it kind of grip your finger better on those chaplains. So that's the idea there. But yeah, that's it for the prototype. I'm genuinely very excited about this thing and what it might do for the community, because that's the dream.
I really like it. I think I've struggled to like recommend sub $100 balisongs to people, because they'll be like, oh, I want to get into the hobby, I don't want to spend too much, but they wouldn't be interested in like the 3D printed ones.
Yeah.
And up until now, there haven't really been any amazing non 3D printed balisongs, unless you're willing to go down the moral rabbit hole of the clones or something from like the One or
like the Falcon or the Alien.
Correct.
Well, and so that's something with this that is also very exciting to me, because Nabali's is a company that has never produced clones. They've always produced original designs.
Yeah.
Which is something that's very important, because like the problem with the One, you know, even if you're buying their original designs, which are the Alien and the Falcon, you're still supporting a company that makes clones at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And so it's a moral gray area where it's like, yes, it is an original design, and hopefully, you know, buying more of that will incentivize them to make more of that, but they are still making brand new clones of brand new products literally weeks after they're announced to this day. So like, they're not really getting better. And the idea with this, actually, Nabali's emailed me directly and said, we don't want this thing compared to other Amazon stuff. Like, we don't want it compared to like the stuff from Bally Shark on Amazon or whatever. We want this thing compared to the stuff that the One is doing. We want it compared to the Falcon and the Alien and stuff like that, because we want to compete directly with the One.
Yeah.
And I think that is awesome.
That is awesome.
That's what I want to do. If we can make the way to get into the hobby not buying a clone, but instead buying something original like this from a company that makes original things, that would be great.
Oh, of course. Seeing that is so awesome, and it looks amazing. This Bowie profile.
Thank you. The Bowie, I had to do the Bowie. Bowie is my favorite profile in general.
Hell yeah.
I was like, if I'm gonna make a trainer, it has to be my favorite profile. I've seen plenty of Tonto trainers that look really awesome, but the Bowie is just like a necessity.
Yeah, of course. That's awesome. That's so good. I'm glad you had a great blade show.
Thank you.
It was an awesome blade show, getting to meet you, Brandon, all the makers.
Oh my God, meeting people was honestly the coolest part of the entire show, because
For sure.
I mean, me and Brandon kept getting stopped over and over again, meeting new people and stuff like that. And honestly, it was the most awesome experience ever. Like, I am humbled to be able to meet all of these people. I had many people come up to me and be like, you're the reason I got into flipping. This is my first blade show. You're the reason I came here. I'm like, that idea that I could have that influence on somebody and get them into a new hobby or whatever is the coolest thing. That is something that I never dreamt that I would be able to do, or like give people that opportunity. And so, I don't know, it's just really cool, and it really warms my heart, the entire experience. And for me, it was a really, really good time. You know, I've had thankfully like practice in terms of, you know, I'm a very outgoing person, and so I've been outgoing my whole life, and I meet a lot of people. Brandon, I think this is a kind of new experience for him, in terms of like having to be active and meet a lot of people. And so I know at one point he was off in the corner, because not because he like didn't like it or anything like that, but genuinely just because he was tired. You know, he's not used to putting out this much energy all the time, unlike me. And I'm unstoppable. And so the like that amount of energy is exhausting to expel all the time. And so he was in the corner just being like, well, I'm taking a breather. And so I kind of went over to like talk to him for a minute. And then I turned around and there was a crowd of people that I had attracted to where Brandon's safe space was. And so we had made like a little like area that was really dope, where we just were, I popped open my case and we were like, people were coming up and showing us their balisongs, and we're checking out balisongs from mine and Brandon's collections, and I don't know, it was just really, really cool. So yeah,
it was great. We got in the line, we got approached by people who recognized us, and it was like, this is cooler than I thought it was going to be, because initially
surreal.
I didn't know what to think.
Yeah.
Okay, there's going to be people who know who I am, and I don't really know who they are. That's strange to me.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool, I can't lie.
Well, something that's also kind of neat too is that like at Blade Show, right? Even smaller channels like your channel, the recognition factor is higher than you would expect.
Yeah.
Because the balisong community is very tight knit and very small. And so once someone starts to make quality content, most of the people in the community rapidly latch onto that and at least bare minimum know who that person is.
Yeah.
So the recognition factor is way higher than you would expect in terms of like the people that see you and know who you are. So yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, it was overall a great show. Thank you for we kind of invaded your group there. Thank you for letting us hang out with you.
Yeah, we're happy to have you.
It was awesome meeting you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for the interview.
Yes.
And enjoy your tsunami and your freshly tuned Kraken, and enjoy seeing the community feedback to the prototype. I really like it.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a little video of I recorded people reacting to it. I'm gonna make a little edit of putting it all together. But yeah,
Hell yeah.
I think that's pretty much it for me for now. So I guess we should give this over to somebody, huh?
Who?
Oh my God, we did that in one fell swoop! How was your Blade show, Brandon? How's it going?
I'm deactivating video energy now. Hi, Ty.
Hello.
Blade show was insane. So
That's good.
My first Blade show was 2019 when I wasn't into balisongs.
Fair.
Or I had a balisong, but Will and I hadn't even made our first video yet. Our first video was our JK Design Monarch review, and that was the first. He got that at Blade Show 2019. And then, of course, Blade Show 2020 didn't happen because the world fell apart and everything is a disaster. But thankfully, it's not as much of a disaster. And Blade Show 2021 happened. And Blade Show 2021 was, really cool and pretty crazy, but not at all was it representative of Blade Show 2022. Because, we met fans at Blade Show in 2021. Nobody knew who we were in 2019 outside of some of the makers. But I remember talking to you and Ty about, because you and Ethan about, oh yeah, I'm sure you guys just get swarmed at Blade Show the whole time. And I was like, no, really, we don't. A couple fans come up, but it's it's really pretty chill. Blade Show was exactly what you thought it might be, because it was just us being surrounded the whole time. And as Will mentioned, Will is more built for that than I am. And I actually have the video that I could probably send you guys of just we were in a corner and just the wall of people that were surrounding us. But it was so cool. And this Blade Show was just it was obviously probably one of the biggest Blade shows that there's ever been. And that was really, really exciting, both just to see all that and then knowing hopefully that the balisong community is growing and everything like that. But yeah, it was definitely a very new thing for me.
Yes,
I remember the final day I walked into the building, and 3 seconds after walking in, there were 3 people in 3 different directions that all said hi at almost the same exact time.
That's fun.
And I'm just, hi. Hi. Yes, okay, see you there. You too. Yes, hello, hi. But it was so cool. And we got to hang out with you guys and got
fun.
A lot of cool stuff.
That's true. Tell me a little about the cool stuff. Will had mentioned you have received a Seraph.
A Seraph is the last thing that I expected to be a proud owner of. Not because it's not amazing, it's just not something that I can really afford. So the fact that Will gifted me and it's not just a Seraph, it's the black and red. But what Will didn't mention was that he specifically imprinted, or had Dalen of Machine Wise specifically print in B number 69, because you got a meme 69, the best
number.
Gotta
do it. Have to
and
do it.
On the other end, because it's black and red, it's very Star Wars-esque. So they put the Imperial logo from Star Wars onto it.
Nice.
And that was just they gave it to me, and I knew he was getting a Seraph for somebody else, and I thought he was gifting it to them, and then he just plopped it onto me, and it just blew me away, and it's so much fun to flip.
Yeah, so as of now, I know you have the 2 Prismas, but now you also own a Seraph.
I'm full
How's
in
that?
the Machine-Wise realm.
Yeah.
I know you are very happy
I am.
with your Machine-Wise Prisma. Number 39 is back.
Number 39 V2. Yeah, I'm planning to post a little bit more about it a little later. But anyone who doesn't know the story, I had a Marin Light that got lost in the mail. It was number 39. I was very, very upset about it. But I messaged Dalen, and yes, and Dalen was very, very kind as to engrave me number 39 V2 of the Prismas. It's one of the only ones that's currently engraved. I think the only other one is the Jeff one.
Yeah.
So that's pretty sick. That's pretty cool that I have that. But we have been hanging out with Dalen for the past couple days.
He is so cool.
Genuinely, like, just an awesome person. And it's been very nice to just meet him and just talk to him about, like, knives and just flipping and stuff like that. Because that's something I don't get to talk about with people who actually make the products that I'm using.
Oh, yeah. Well,
so it's very cool.
Like, Will and I, we, interact with so many people. Like, we constantly have messages with people. We have our Discord server where we talk to people. Like, having people actually here to talk about, we don't really have. It's just kind of Will and I in our own bubble whenever we talk about different balisongs. So actually being able to, like, deep dive with multiple people. Like, there was Dalen, then there was Grant from Fellowship Blades, and then there was a Contraption Collection.
Yeah, the Bally Scissors
the Bally Scissors guy, which is what he was known as.
Yeah.
Even talking to Lucas, and he's so knowledgeable about various things. Speaking of that, one of the reasons I brought up the Prisma is because Will and I are going to be doing a review of the Prisma soon. Nice. And I'm going to be hosting that because it's the Prisma. Will doesn't have a Prisma, and it's been much more of a journey for me than it has been for him. But I realized, so this is my crack-a-rackin' V1, but I didn't have an up-to-date crack-a-rackin'. And I'm like, this reminds me so much of the crack-a-rackin', and I want to have something to compare that to. And so Squid Industries, of course, is there, and they brought the purple crack-a-rackins, and I went to their booth like near the beginning, and I didn't realize they had 4 different types of purple crack-a-rackins. There was only 20 of them total. And I didn't realize that, but I sat there for like 10 to 15 minutes while still being like fans coming up and talking to me, and it was amazing how many people were just materialized in my peripheral vision, holding a balisong and expect me to just flip it. And I'm like,
try,
hello,
try now,
yes,
now, try
yes,
now,
wow,
now,
yeah,
try,
cool,
flip,
channel titanium,
now,
wow,
trip,
you did
fly.
it good, wow, oh yeah, and the Zen pin screw fell out.
Oh my gosh, that's a screw? That's a screw?
And you have 2 Kershaw Lucha latches
Brandon,
dangling
review
from
now,
it.
review, try, review
10
now.
out of 10 value score, 0 out of 10 durability. I don't know what that means.
I don't know. That's a Brandon clone right there.
Yep, somebody out there make that product happen. 10 out of 10 value,
Yes.
0 out of 10 durability.
Yes.
But no, so I needed a crack-a-rackin', and I went back and forth on the Tonto crack-a-rackin' and the Bowie crack-a-rackin', both inked. And I went, like, I just could not decide. I asked the Squid Industries people, like, what they thought, and it was like an even split. I ended up flipping a coin, but it was only after that I finally landed on deciding to get the Bowie purple crack-a-rackin', and I bought it, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, oh, this says 2 of 5. I really took my sweet time deciding, and there was a chance I was not even going to be able to get it. Wow.
There's 5 of them.
There was 5 of them. But it was really cool because they say on it Blade Show 2022.
Yeah, that's super cool. Rather than just having like a production number, it's like the actual Blade Show.
Yeah, so
Blade Show knife.
And of course, Will and I are affiliated with Squid Industries in a number of different ways, but they really put on an incredible show.
Oh, absolutely.
And so I'm curious, like, your thoughts on, like, because they expanded a lot this year.
Yeah.
I'm curious your thoughts
They
on,
had-
like, for first time seeing their presence compared to other balisong people.
Yeah, it's very, very clear that they are kind of the big players in the game at Blade Show, and they use that to their advantage because they bring everything.
Yeah.
They had, I believe, every single currently available Squid Industries product.
Yes.
And also multiple prototypes.
Like 4 of them.
Yeah,
4
just
prototypes.
the amount of things they had for us to try and to experience was awesome. And the space they rented out specifically for people to flip at, they had like multiple booths worth of spaces just completely empty just for us to flip at.
And those booths are not cheap.
No.
I think it was like 3 separate dedicated spaces. 2 spaces were for them to work out of. 3 of them were just for people to flip in. And that really impressed me, especially them tuning people's balisongs.
Yeah, free tuning.
Free tuning on any product.
Not
Which, of
even just
course,
Squid.
It's not guaranteed that it's going to be perfect, because, you know, there's so many different kinds of balisongs. But they tuned Will's cracker-rackin' V2, and they tuned my cracker-rackin' V1, which I was pretty certain had undersized bushings. Spoiler alert, it did. And they fixed it up, and like it's only been a day, but it's holding up super freaking well. And so like there are other makers there and everything that like had really cool stuff and everything, but Squid Industries definitely stole the show.
Yeah.
And Lucas even
In the
asked me
best
directly.
way, though.
Yeah, the best way.
Like,
yeah, not in like a pretentious way, not like, oh, we're coming in big,
yeah,
and we're gonna
no,
dominate people.
Like genuinely, they just had so much of like a good presence and so much space to show us different things that it was basically impossible to walk by and not visit the Squid booth and just try everything and just look at all the different stuff they had.
And their prototypes are super promising.
Yes. All of the prototypes are really, really cool this year. My favorite one's probably the Hydro, which they did have before, but I didn't get to try it until now, and that thing is so sick. But the Madcos I like a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's really just an interesting idea to take their cheapest metal trainer and basically give it steroids and crack at the same time.
Like they just injected it all the way. They're like, boy, we're gonna pump you up.
Let's
pump up the jam. Pump it up.
Pump it up. So yeah, the Madco is a titanium like speed channeled Mako, which is absurd, and it's on bushings, and it's just it's beautiful. Sounds beautiful. Flips great. Love that thing. I'll keep my eye on that.
Yeah, the Swordfish is what I'm most excited about. Just because that's more within my price range, like the under $200 price range, and like hopefully they offer a bunch of different color options. And then learning that it is on bushings, a lot of people, or I don't think they had officially announced that it is actually on bushings, which a lot of people care about, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm just really excited for the different ways you can anodize that, and hopefully they offer a bunch of different options for everything there. And then in terms of options, whenever it comes to a balisongs I'm excited about, Will had talked about it extensively, but we do have our Nabalis / Will Hirsch balisong. I actually have a red one, not here with me currently, but of course I need to have the red one because red dominates all. I guess maybe not that. And your thing is teal.
My thing is teal.
So which is cool. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah,
we're not gonna fight right now.
Maybe later in the parking lot.
The parking lot.
But not right now. For the sake of the video, we'll keep it PG.
I'll be docile as much as I can.
We'll be passive aggressive.
Just a little passive
aggressive.
Okay. But no, so I'm genuinely excited about this. And there's a lot of various questions that we've had to answer with various parts of the whole production process and just how crazy that is. Working with a separate company, and there was a lot of things that were like, oh my gosh, is this going to work out? Is this going to work out? Is this going to work out? But so far, they've been really great to work with, and they've proven that they can make a really cool thing and been really good about communicating with us with the process and everything. And like Will said, we got just tons of really good feedback, like genuinely good feedback. And I have my own issues with various bits of the design. It's obviously not perfect. No balisong is ever going to be, but it checks enough boxes, especially for me, in terms of being able to learn on it, in terms of having grip in the right places and jimping, and like the balance is relatively good, and it has a good length, and it has a good weight and everything like that. So I'm really excited to see where all of this goes, because that could be a big thing for Will and I for the future of the channel and what we're involved with and how much we're able to put into it, if it does well. So I'm really, really excited for that.
Yes.
And we'll see where that goes. I know you seem to like it.
We flipped this thing. Me and Ethan flipped this thing quite a bit, and for the price that this thing is at, because you came over to our hotel room, and the first day before Blade Show even started, and we got to try like the Morse, and we got to try the Alien and the Falcon, and then
I slowly built it up.
Yeah,
I had
you
my
built it
balisong
up
case, and I showed them every single balisong I owned before I revealed that to them.
And the Alien, it was alright. The Falcon, it was alright. The Morse was very, very good.
Yes, the Morse
and then you pulled out this thing, and I was like, oh. Whoa. And this thing is genuinely really, really awesome. Anyone who didn't get to try it at Blade Show, I am sorry. That is very unfortunate. You missed out. But no, for the price range that you guys are looking to keep this at, not going to say anything just because it's uncertain.
Production stuff changes and all that.
Under 70 was the
that's
the
realistic
range
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So around that price range, comparing things to like the Falcon and the Morse, and specifically the Falcon and the Alien, though, that comparison, it blows it clean out of the water. It's not even close. And that is something that, because now we have, in my opinion, the best knife under $100 is this guy, and then now we have the best knife under $200, which is the Prisma.
The Prisma is
And
so
it's yet to be seen entirely what is the best knife under 300, but the two major audiences that I think are really like starving for new stuff right now are getting hit both at about the same time. Both of these are fairly new products. Both of them are not even in full production yet, but when both of these are available to the public very often, it's going to change a lot.
And more affordable balisongs are getting good.
Yes.
And so that's, again, somebody that got into the community just kind of in a, I was introduced to it by Will, and I've never really had a ton of money to spend on balisongs, so knowing that I could get something that was decent after having like bought the one Alien, I've been really disappointed with that. And I've had stuff like squiddies and everything like that, but those are just a different ballgame than a metal balisong. And of course, this isn't meant to be, it's some holy grail, and oh my gosh, it's just so incredible and amazing, and how did they do it? It's just like, no, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And it's affordable.
It's pretty
And
good.
that's all we're
And that's
looking to
cheap.
do. It's not meant to dethrone any of the big players or anything like that in the space. It's just meant to be something that can get people interested, that they can rely on, and then they go from there.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that was really cool about Blade Show as a whole. Was like I even saw like kids as young as like 6.
We interviewed a
Even one, like,
10-year-old.
I even saw like a 3 or 4-year-old flipping a squiddy.
Yeah.
And that was so cool. There was even like a 6-year-old girl that wanted to take a selfie with me because her dad watches our videos with his 2 daughters, one of which was the 6-year-old.
That's so cute.
And it was so cool getting to meet fans. Like it is a lot, of course, especially over the course of a long weekend. But it's so cool, and this particular Blade Show I feel like represented like kind of where the balisong community is, how many cool people are in it, how many new players there are in it, and how people are excited to be there. Like I know you guys tried to get a Seraph,
Yes.
and a Tsunami for somebody else.
Yeah, I tried. So a good friend of mine asked me to get him a Tsunami and a Seraph because he did me a bunch of favors recently, and I tried, but it was just not happening because both Squid and Machine Wise had lines out the door, but that's not a bad thing. That is a good thing because that shows that the effort is getting recognized in especially Machine Wise.
Yes,
the
and
Squid
that's...
we've known for a while. The Tsunamis are great. Everyone wants one. But Dalen coming out, putting out the Seraph, and having just as long of a line shows that there is new stuff coming, and it is good, and people want it, and that's great.
Yeah, I heard people say that like they saw what they thought was the Squid Industries line.
Yeah.
Like, is this the Squid line? No, this is the Machine Wise line.
Yeah.
And I knew that was crazy for Dalen. Like he's just blown away by it. So like as stuff like that continues to develop, like various balisongs that didn't really have a lot of prominence just a couple years ago are now like exploding now. That's something where I'm interested to see, like with 3D printed balisongs.
Yeah.
I saw very few people with 3D printed stuff, but I feel like by next Blade Show, there could be a bunch of people with 3D balisongs because we like them. Will and I are about to release 2 different reviews pretty much back to back about 3D printed balisongs, and I think that's really going to change things a lot. And even at a place like Blade Show, where obviously it's about the knives and everything, like just having different forms of the hobby represented in one place is just really, really cool. So if anybody wants to go to Blade Show, it is genuinely a really cool time.
Yes,
Will and I
it is
live in Atlanta. Atlanta's a super cool city with a ton of stuff to do. Of course, there's Blade Show West and Blade Show Texas and everything, but proper like Blade Show, I guess East is what you could call it. It's a great time. The Bally Comp is great.
Valley Comp was awesome this year.
Yeah, there was some crazy stuff there that probably won't happen again. Which you can look into whenever they upload the videos of that, because there was some crazy stuff there. There was some stuff and some things. But I'm really excited for next year, and I'm assuming now that you've gone to one, do you feel like I'm gonna have to go to as many Blade shows as I can?
Yeah, I don't even care if I stop flipping a year from now, which I don't think will happen, but if for some reason it did happen, I would still probably go to Blade Show.
Yeah.
It's just overall a super fun experience, and there's really nothing that comes close to that. Just huge conventions are insane, especially when everyone, specifically the balisong community, because the balisong community is not, we're not knife people, we're balisong people.
Yep.
And 90% of the community doesn't really care about other knives and other stuff like that. So a lot of the community is very close and very kind of like more, I guess, just tight-knit. So a lot of the balisong community, everyone knows each other. There's so many people that are like, hey, I know you, and like that's my friend. Like, hey, wait, I've seen you before. And then it's like everyone kind of knows each other, and everyone is so like trusting to just, here's my $1,200 knife.
Yes,
flip,
that's
have
what's
fun.
insane to me is just you see these people, like people just sitting on the ground with a giant Pelican case with tons of balisongs in it. And they're just like, yeah, sure. And even I trusted people, random fans, random people that are just like, oh, hey, can I try your cracker rack? And can I try your serif? Can I try your Tay flipper? Can I try your zipper? Like whatever it was, like they just, I was just like, yeah, sure. Nothing was stolen.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
we all, I think everyone in our group still has all of their knives.
Yeah.
And I think there was somebody who said one thing got stolen from one of the booths. I think it was Hanson got one of his solos stolen.
I didn't know that.
Other than that, Squid had everything.
Yeah.
I believe JK had everything. Machine Wise had everything.
Yeah.
All the Cerrone stuff was still there. So other than maybe a freak 1 or 2 incidents, mostly everyone is just like, I flip, okay, I'm done, here you go, have it back.
Well, I think probably the craziest thing is that nobody realized I stole all of those, and so here I have them right here in my pocket.
True.
I'm kidding, I did not do that. Don't quote. No, it's a joke. Comedy. Who'd have thought?
Comedy. That was great. Well, yeah, Blade Show was great. It was very fun hanging out with you guys.
Yeah, I'm so glad you and Ethan got to come and hang out with us. It was genuinely a blast. Like, it made me realize how much I wish we had more people here that we could, like, make videos with, and then, just relate to with balisong stuff, and then just hang out with. Like, you guys have been great. It's been, like, I look forward to even more people coming to hang out. And this has definitely been one of the best weekends I've ever had, for sure.
Yeah.
It was a lot. It was exhausting. But it was just like so worth all of the hoops we had to jump through and all the things that had to happen. Because Will and I were shooting a lot of the time, and we're gonna have a bunch of videos to come out. But I'm very excited for the future.
So yeah, I think we'll wrap it up there, because judging by the look that Ethan just gave me when he looked at his camera,
It's been running.
it's probably been quite some time. But
You want to take a guess?
15.
No, I'm gonna guess 28.
Right in the middle. 21.
21 minutes,
Look,
21
guys,
minutes. We're hip.
Fine.
Swag.
That's how it had to
Ballin'.
do.
Swag. Okay, well, and anyway, so thanks for stopping by, Brandon.
Yes, thank you so much
I really,
for having me.
I really do appreciate taking the time to
Yes.
hang out with us and do a little interview with us. So yeah, I'm going to I'm gonna
Yeah, take a sip. Take a sip. That's Will, you weren't supposed to see us like this. That's all, folks.
That's unfortunate.
Anyways, yeah, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Will.
Yes,
Will,
thank you, guys.
Ethan, come sit on the couch.
Thank you. Huge thanks to our Patreon supporters.
Huge thanks to our Patreon supporters.
in
Will Hirsch,
here. I'm
Will
getting in
Hirsch dot Will Hirsch dot gay, Brandon Baker dot straight,
camaroEE dot
Ambiguous.
Telestro dot unfortunate.
something.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Suffering dot Pate.
Oh, whoa.
For real, thanks for watching. Blade Show is awesome. We appreciate all of you, and peace out. Deuces.
Everyone pose, because I'm gonna get a picture out of this that I want to keep forever.
Everybody do the so many.